Welcome to She's in the Weeds.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Hollis.
We're best friends exploring the intersection of pop culture and the female experience.
Be sure to follow us on socials and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
Nailed it.
I think it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello. We are. First and foremost, we would like to apologize for working on the rebranding and then completely forgetting to change the intro. And so even after we launched the new title, we realized it still says welcome to or something like that.
Whoopsie. We were getting right on that, though.
Yes, we will change it. Hopefully this episode will be correct unless, of course, we forget again. We'll see.
You never know.
You never know.
We are not professionals, okay?
No, there's definitely always a chance we forget. For sure.
We'll be professionals someday.
Someday,
Don't
that's
worry.
right. Yeah, we're well on our way.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a troll comment on YouTube, so we are on our way up.
Heck yeah.
For sure. I do need to talk about just how hard it is to dress for this podcast.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's like you want to look cute because we're recording and, you know, we're putting the clips out there on social media, but you don't want to like be a try-hard either.
Yeah.
And so
effortlessly beautiful is always the goal.
Yes.
But especially on the pod, it's just like
it's difficult.
Yeah.
And things don't always translate to the camera super well. Like you might be like, oh yeah, slay in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And then on camera it's like, wait, no.
Yeah, I'm having concerns about the shirt I'm wearing at this very moment. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like it when I see the clips.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's so hard to like, because you want to do your hair and makeup, and then sometimes it's hard to do that and also wear a more casual outfit. Like you feel a little ridiculous.
Well, yeah.
But if you really like go to the nines with the outfit, then it's like you're only seeing the top half anyway. And sometimes it's just, I don't know. It's just a tough spot.
I always have this thing if I like really pull it together with the look and the outfit. And then we pod, and then I'm like, where are we going?
What are we doing?
we
got to go out.
Yeah, I can't waste this
absolutely.
outfit. And
no.
it's like, okay, then most of the time we do this, and then we have to go do other things.
Right.
So it's like, oh, man.
I know.
I can't waste this outfit.
I know.
That's how I kind of feel
know.
tonight.
And then I feel like it's summer, too, so, like, we're wearing our hair up more. And you know when you bun too close to the sun, and you, like, you do it, and you're like, it's okay. It's actually pretty good, but I could do better. Yeah. And when in reality you couldn't, and you should have never taken it down to begin with.
Oh, I know. That is a disease where, like, I'll put my hair up one time, and I'm like, it's pretty good. I'm like, I think it could be a 10. It's an 8, and then it's a solid 4 after consistently, and I'll do it 7 more times, and it just gets lower and lower and lower every time, and I never, ever learn.
And then you're 20 minutes late.
Yes, and I look like shit, and I'm pissed. I know. I've taught myself that lesson so many times, have never learned it.
Right. I know.
Yeah. I also have this weird self-consciousness about, like, I always wear my hair really up high in a bun.
I do too.
Because I feel like my head's small.
You
so
want to
I'm
be able
like,
to see it.
And I want to be able to see it. I feel like it gives me height. When I look at myself straight on and I don't have hair up here, I'm like, I look like a colonial man. I look so sad. But then I feel like I see videos and images of me, and I'm like, I look like I'm 4 years old. I look like a little girl.
A ballerina?
Yeah, like, should I have a more mature look? But I'm like, I don't know what that would be.
No, and I think that is like a collective experience of millennial women. We all understand what the colonial George Washington look consists of, and we don't want it. We don't want it. That's why we pull these out.
Oh my God, and that video triggered me so
hard. Oh, for sure. I couldn't be happier that this is back.
Yeah.
It gives me a little like
you need
shape,
a frame.
A little frame.
You need
Absolutely.
a face frame for sure.
I'm sad they ever went out.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw them back, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
I mean, they're tough in the summer for me because they just immediately, like, turn into curly frizz bombs. But, you know, I'm trying to embrace
Mine's limp, so I'm good.
That's what he said.
We're limp over here.
That's what he said, never.
We hope he didn't say that.
It's all good. I'm limp. No big deal.
No worries. You're totally safe. I'm so safe.
I have no threat to you. My dick does not get hard. We're keeping that in. We're keeping that in.
We're definitely keeping it in. Oh, man.
We're on one tonight, folks. Drop in for what's going to be a really exciting episode topic. We're getting a little serious today.
We are getting serious, and we have some other things to get into first, but we do want to just say that, like, we are not professionals. We're not legislators. We're not doctors. We're not. Yeah.
This is an opinion podcast. We do a little research. We try to come.
Oh, yes. You know. Of course. We come prepared as we can.
I would even say not a little research. We do research to make sure we don't
do a lot of research.
Idiots, but we're not experts.
Right.
Yeah.
For episodes like this, we do a lot of research. Of course, we have some where we just more wing it, but yeah, we definitely want to be informed on what we're talking about and at least have the facts that are available, have those correct.
Yeah, to support our opinions.
Yes, exactly. So before we get into our weeds topic, I do have a couple circle backs. First being, on the last episode, we were talking about, I can't even remember what we were talking about that we got on the Amazon. Oh, well, we were talking about research.
Generally trying to be a good person.
Yes, trying to be a good person and knowing about the stuff you're consuming and the people behind it. And you were talking about, you know, not wanting to use Amazon because of how you feel about Jeff Bezos, but it was also like, but I do use it, and I feel like I know the answer. Is it just really that, like, I don't want to take that convenience, like, off the plate? Mm-hmm. And then you were saying, because then if I do that, I have to apply that to, like, all these other things in my life. And I'm going to credit the person who said this, and it really resonated with me. I follow the Car Mom on Instagram, and she creates car content for families. And she has a podcast with her sister called The Carpool. It's a great listen. But she was talking about on the podcast, this was months ago, just about doing 1% better.
Yeah.
And it just really resonated with me because I feel like we do that with so many things in our lives where we try to go all or nothing, and then we get overwhelmed and we do nothing.
Absolutely.
And I just think that that's a very good mindset to have. It's like, if you can even do 1% better, then you should feel good about that and feel like that's productive and that's progress. So yeah, I feel like you can apply that to the Amazon situation where it's like, I wish I could just completely get rid of it and take it out of my life. Sure. Would that be like maybe the best thing to do? Sure. But is it always possible? And is it always practical still for me in my life? Maybe not. So if I can do something like, you got rid of your Prime account. You're not paying for the Prime account, and you only use it when you really need to or even really want to for something, that's doing even more than 1% better.
You just made me feel so much better about myself.
It's better than nothing.
No, because I'm really bad about that. I think about this in goal setting all the time. Because you hear that, you know, if you're going to set goals, set attainable goals.
Right.
You know, like set a small amount of attainable goals. Don't set, 100 goals that you know you're not going to be able to reach. And that's, again, I never learn my lesson. I'm always like, I must be perfect this year. Right. So I must do all of these things to their utmost potential, and I must become the perfect person in this coming year. And it's not a way to live. It's never going to happen. And it's
not realistic.
That's a good perspective, because I definitely am like, well, unless I don't ever use Amazon ever again and I denounce Jeff Bezos and everyone like him, then I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
And it's just not true, and it's also just not like, it's not going to work. So,
exactly. Yeah, and I think it can be applied to basically anything in your life, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you said, goals, like fitness goals or nutrition goals or parenting goals or relationship goals. Like, if you can just focus on doing a little bit better.
Consistency.
Yeah. And let's say you do consistently 1% better every year, or consistently 5% better every year, that adds up.
Yeah.
And it's better than just like getting overwhelmed and doing nothing. So
absolutely.
Anyway.
Spoken like a true organizer.
Spoken like I stole it from the Car Mom.
You didn't steal it, you're just spreading the gospel.
That's right. I'm spreading the gospel. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Really insightful and inspiring, honestly.
There you go. So if you're struggling to make improvements in your life and you feel like you're overwhelming yourself, pick one thing and commit to doing 1% better at that.
Yeah, heck yeah.
There you go.
Amen.
All right. My next circle back pertains to our most recent episode as well. Really the same thing that we were talking about in terms of the responsibility that we have in researching people whose content we're consuming or products we're buying. I just got to thinking about it more, and yeah, I'd like to know how you feel or what you think about this. Like, what do the content creators owe us? Like, do we feel like they owe us their political beliefs, values, their opinions on more controversial topics or heavier topics because we feel like that's their responsibility to give us that information so we can make informed decisions? Because what is happening now is a lot of content creators are getting called out on social media platforms by fans or people saying, you never talk about issues. You never talk about politics. You never comment on the heavier issues. And so, yeah, I'm just curious does the responsibility lie with the creator or does it lie with the consumer? And I understand as a consumer, you can't make an informed decision if you don't know anything, if the person's not putting anything out there. But then at that point, is it appropriate to start calling them out? Or do you as the consumer just kind of have to make the best decision you can and say, I'm going to move on from this person because I don't know enough, or I'm going to continue to listen, and if their values don't align, they don't align. You know?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Especially as content creators ourselves.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think it depends on how the content creator frames their content.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's unfair to listen to, you know, for example, a comedy podcast, and when they don't speak on topics to be like, well, hey, how dare you not talk about this? And they're like, well, hey, I'm doing a comedy podcast.
Right.
Well, like, I never said I was going to be political. I never said I was going to give you my opinions on this.
Right.
I'm not an expert. Like, you know, but I think it's different if, you know, someone behaves badly, does something worthy of being called out, and they don't address it. I think that's a different situation. For instance, like, I know you were pretty upset about the Hannah Burner thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of made you think twice about listening to them. Like that's an appropriate response. But I think when a content creator that has not come out and said, like, this is the kind of content I'm creating, and they don't give you what you want, I don't feel like that's fair to say, like, you know, you just don't listen.
Right.
I don't think it's appropriate for people to be like, you're not talking on this topic. How dare you? You can have your opinion. Yeah. Fine. But then that you express that by opinion by listening or not. Yeah. You know, I don't feel like getting angry and, like, you know,
calling
leaving mean comments, calling people out is necessary. I mean, I guess do what you want. But, But they're not political figures. They're not representatives. They're content creators. If they frame themselves as a certain thing and they're not giving you what you want, don't listen. Right. I feel like that is the stance it's appropriate to take.
I think so too. And I think obviously if somebody is misrepresenting themselves in some way, like if they're lying about something, then sure. I think, like, hey, you know, you kind of represented this viewpoint or this, and now we're finding out this. Yeah. Or like in the case of Hannah and Giggly Squad, you know, that whole thing happened, and they don't get political really on their podcast, but they do kind of have this, their whole shtick is like feminism to an extent. It's kind of a specific type of feminism, but that ties into political values, I think, and beliefs. And so I could kind of see where people were like upset about that. I myself was upset about that.
Well, and you have a personal connection to these people too. So when they do something in their personal lives that it is upsetting, I could understand how you would hope that they would maybe at least address it. Yeah. I don't think they need to like take a stance necessarily, but like addressing it, I could totally see how you would be like, man, it would have been great if she would have talked about it at least. Right.
In terms of people whose content is like so benign, like the example that's coming to mind is this girl Ashley Mixon, who is a content creator on TikTok, and she's a skincare content creator. That's all she does is post her skincare. And she recently got called out. Now, I think it was something to do with something that her husband had said in the past. And she posted this response video. And people were like, I don't know, accusing her of being MAGA and all of this stuff. And she posted this video. She's like, I'm not MAGA. I was glad that she did because, like, I'm here for the content.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to hear what she had to say. But after what we talked about, and then I saw that video of hers, I was like, she's posting about skincare. I don't think a lot of times people in certain niches like that, does it really matter? Does she owe us that? Yeah. I don't necessarily think she does. Right. Now, it's nice that she responded and now people have some information and great. But yeah, there is a fine line. I think it just really depends on what the content is.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's also, you know, as skeptical as I am of every person on TikTok or Instagram who is giving information, I am just as equally skeptical of every person calling them out. Because I guarantee you the people giving the information on TikTok, don't know what they're talking about, mm-hmm. or making their claims based on information taken from the internet that they haven't researched or fact checked. Right. And same goes for the people calling them out. Yeah. Like, one thing I've learned from the internet is nothing is fucking real. Yeah. Nothing's true. Nothing's fact checked. Like, you have to do your own research and don't stop at social media. And, you know, I'm not anti-cancel culture. I feel like there is a time and a place for cancel culture. We've talked about it before on the podcast. Yeah. Theoretically, it's good. It gets out of control. But it is. Like, I feel like that is the routine of social media. You know, is that someone is a content creator, they come up, they get popular, and then
people start digging.
Yes, and like that is the back and forth. Is that like someone then sees an opportunity to be like, oh, cool, I'm going to be the expose on this person. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's become exhausting almost, where it's just like, not that it isn't always wrong, and some people do need to be called out, and there are some people that, like, yeah, have some shit that they need to be called out for, but most of the time it's all just this social media
back and forth. Yeah. And quite frankly, the truth of it is, I feel anybody and everybody in your life, whether it's a content creator that you're listening to or watching, whether it's the guy you sit next to at your cubicle, whether it's your professor, whether it's your brother, everybody in your life has done or said something that technically could be probably cancelable.
Of course.
And now we live in this world where, you know, when we were growing up, when we were in high school, there was no Twitter. The things that we were saying and doing were not crystallized into the internet for everyone to be able to dig up and like read and see. And so, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of times anything that really sets these people apart from the people in your everyday life. Yeah. You know, and I'm not saying that makes it okay and that we shouldn't be critical and that we shouldn't be committed to growth and evolution. Of course we should. But at the same time, I do think it has gotten a little
out of control.
A little bit.
And also it's like, it's one thing to look back at a political figure or representatives' past actions over the years and what they have done to implement like legislation and social change and see that kind of progress. It's another thing to look at just a random guy's Twitter from 10 years ago when Twitter was, I heard this, somebody made this point on a podcast I was listening to last week, and I thought it was very astute that like Twitter when it started was very different than it was now. Yeah. No one thought it was going to be written in stone. Right. It was literally people tweeting on their phones. Yeah. Oh, just random shit they were doing like
in real-time responses to things.
Thinking it was just poof, gone. You know what I mean? It's not like anyone really realized that like, oh, in 10 years they're going to be pulling up this tweet I wrote when I was 19.
Exactly.
And it's like, yes, if we are encouraging change and evolution in people, then we can't go dig up tweets.
We have to allow for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, and again, it's all about the context. Yes. You know, if you're about to vote a senator into Congress and you find something that's problematic that he did 10 years ago that like had a real effect on people's lives, that's a little bit different.
That's different than
Roger
skincare
down the street who's just like working a job and trying to feed his kids.
Right. Or a skincare content creator who posts nothing other than skincare.
Right.
Being called out by 1,000 people on TikTok for something her husband maybe said 10 years ago.
Yeah. Her ex-husband maybe said 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all this talk about spectrums, and we'll get to this in our next topic, how we have such a hard time as people really considering that everything is on a spectrum. Nothing is black and white.
Right.
There is context and considerations for everything. You can't judge anything the same, really.
I don't know how many times we've said it on this podcast, but the complexities are complexing.
And the nuances are nuanced.
That's right.
I mean, they really are.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to get your take on that.
No,
I feel like we're pretty aligned. Like,
yeah. And it's something I feel like we think about a lot now.
Yeah.
Like, being content creators now.
Yes. And I mean, they're going to start digging. Good thing we weren't tweeting. I've never tweeted in my life.
I know. I mean, that's a big fear of mine. Like, what if
we blow up?
More than 15 people do start listening to this podcast at some point. And like, what if 1% of those people are like, fuck you, you're ugly piece of shit, and you're stupid, and everything you say is wrong.
They will.
I know. Like, I don't know if I could handle it.
Not everybody's going to like us.
I know, and I have a real problem with that. I need to be liked.
But that's why this podcast is so good for us.
Yes, it's
because we're not for everybody.
I know.
But the people we are for need us.
And we need them.
We need them. That's right.
Man, we need you, listeners.
That's right. I know. I'm like, God, thank God we're tweeting.
I know, for real.
Yeah. I mean, not that like I was out there.
Like,
not that I would have been out there saying anything crazy, but it's just like.
Well, imagine being in your 20s and
or
being
even
drunk.
just something embarrassing.
Yeah. Imagine being in your 20s and being drunk.
God.
You had Twitter on your phone, and people really, they treated it like a live journal.
Yeah.
Where they just tweeted literally everything they were doing and thinking.
Right.
Almost thinking it was just going to disappear.
I guess. Yeah.
You know, and it's like.
I equate it to what I titled my Facebook photo albums from college. Like, if people saw that profile doesn't exist anymore.
Oh man.
So embarrassing. Embarrassing.
Because you had a digital camera every time we went to the bar.
Every time.
Yeah.
I was the picture girl. I took all the pictures.
Which, you know, everyone was really grateful for after the fact.
Yes, nice I'm happy to have them. But yeah, those pictures went from the internet to photo books, and they are now scrubbed.
Are they, like, that whole account's deleted?
Yeah, I just deleted it. I mean, there's just no reason to have it anymore.
Right.
It was just a lot of pictures of people
and a lot of the same photo over and over again. Yeah. Like and so many just
blurry. I mean, the cameras weren't very good back then.
Yeah, because that was before smartphones.
Oh, way before smartphones. Yeah. And then when smartphones did become a thing, I didn't get one for a long time.
Yeah.
I had my little, like...
Oh, my God, the Switchblade.
The Switchblade phone.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
I had my chocolate. I love that one.
Yeah. You had that chocolate. I had the Switchblade.
We were so cool. We had very cool phones, guys.
We did. People loved mine.
I know.
They were like...
I think they were mostly like,
I'm the only person that ever had that phone. Did you ever see anyone else with that phone?
Not a single person. No. The fact that you could text on that phone is mind-boggling to me.
You guys, it was like the size of a lighter when it was closed.
Like maybe even narrower than a lighter. But yeah, probably about the lighter.
No, yeah, it was about...
But like you had 3 rows of buttons like a regular phone.
Yeah, they were just small.
Just real small.
And then, you flipped it open like a switchblade, and it became about twice the length of a lighter, but still just
we'll have to find a picture.
I'll post it.
I have memories of you though, like on your phone texting and just like this long toothbrush thing.
No one else had it. I never saw it.
Mm-mm.
Who knows?
I don't know where you got it, but
either pawn shop or something. I have no idea. Oh boy.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah. So hopefully we're good. I don't think anybody can get any dirt on us.
Yeah, no.
We've left our dirt in the past.
And I mean, luckily for us, it's also been kind of the crux of this podcast is that we're not very good social media people.
Right. I know, that's why we only have 15 listeners.
We'd probably be more successful if we were, but also I'm really glad we're not because it's made my life much simpler.
We're not trying to be influencers.
No.
I mean, if Instagram had been a thing when we were in college,
oh boy,
we would have been out there for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that we came up in the time we did.
Me too.
Because we kind of had the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because we had
a young
enough of
adolescence
it.
and a young 20s where like we missed that, but like we also got like just to the tail end to have like a little fun.
Yeah.
Oh man,
remember the top 8 on MySpace?
Oh my god, yeah, just MySpace in general. You know what I do? I missed my MySpace profile picture. I think it may have been the best photo of me ever taken.
You couldn't get it off the profile?
No. Yeah, I think I just gave up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I saw it now, I'd be like, I'm 12.
Yeah, I'm sure you look very young. Oh, man. All right.
Oh, MySpace. Okay.
Should we move into our main topic?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess really the topic is trans rights in sports.
Yes.
The reason we're talking about this is because of the recent kerfuffle between Simone Biles and Riley Gaines. And I think we all know who Simone Biles is, but Riley Gaines is an NCAA All-American swimmer from Kentucky. She swam at Kentucky, and she now campaigns against the participation of trans women in women's sports. And Simone Biles is kind of the one that sparked the discussion up, but she really doesn't have a whole lot to do with the meat and potatoes of it.
She responded to a tweet or an Instagram post because Gaines reposted a photo on Twitter from a Minnesota State high school state championship baseball team. She said, "Comments off, LOL, to be expected when your star player is a boy," kind of insinuating that it's unfair that they had a trans member on the team. And so then Simone responded in retaliation to that with things like, "You're truly sick. You're a straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports, but instead you bully them. One thing is for sure, no one in sports is safe with you around." And then that kind of started a whole back and forth.
Right. And in 2022, Riley Gaines competed in the NCAA championship 500-yard freestyle race with a trans athlete, Leah Thomas, who ended up winning the race. And that's what Simone is referring to when she says, you're a straight up sore loser, and that all of her campaigning is because she lost a race. And going back and doing the research and reading about this, that does seem to be what has sparked Riley Gaines' campaign against all of this. And Leah Thomas has since been stripped of her titles, and records have been updated. And this has all just happened recently, based on the Department of Justice investigation by the Trump administration, which we'll get into a little bit later. But it is complicated, and I don't know what the answer is.
I don't either. And this is a complicated issue, but I will say I take issue with anti-trans rhetoric in the name of feminism, which is, I feel, what Riley Gaines' platform is, basically. Yeah. It's she's doing this for women.
Well, yes.
And it's unfair for women, but I don't think that is a full picture of what is happening.
No, and I don't either. And I feel like what really the big problem for me is that the majority of the discourse around transgender rights in sports is fueled by fear.
100%, yeah.
And hate. And it's masked as fairness.
Yeah.
And no one is denying that this is a complex issue that needs to be addressed, but it isn't about what's fair and what isn't fair anymore. I think what it's really about is fear of what we don't understand and fear of the lack of labels and being able to definitively define somebody.
Yeah. And the idea that sports have been fair is kind of laughable.
Yes.
Sports have never been fair. There are many elements that keep sports from being fair. Yeah. I just find it very convenient that now everyone is so fucking obsessed with sports being fair, especially for women. And it's only in the terms of transphobia.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think a lot of this is including all of the information and the history Trans people have existed forever.
Yeah.
They have also existed in sports and then competed in sports for decades.
Yes.
And I think people are forgetting that.
It's not even forgetting.
Oh, yeah. They're conveniently ignoring.
They're ignoring it, or they literally just don't know.
True. But I also feel like that's not an excuse anymore.
No, I'm not saying it's an excuse.
I know you're not. But I feel like, yeah.
Go ahead.
It's so one-sided. And it just seems like trans people seem to be a scapegoat constantly for, like you said, fear-mongering in a way to, like, keep people in one certain lane.
Yeah.
And I get that, like, if you're Riley Gaines, it must feel horrible in that one instance to lose to somebody who you think they won because of this thing. But the fact is, there's a lot of trans competitors and they're not winning and beating everybody out.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to be included and be able to compete.
I know.
It's not like they're dominating sports.
Right.
And I feel like, and I'm not saying that is enough of an argument to, put the nail in the coffin, but I also feel like it's not considered enough or spoken out enough that, like, they have been competing for a long time.
Yes.
It's a very small percentage of people competing.
Yeah. And that's part of what makes it complicated too, because, when you're trying to think of what a solution might be, a lot of people have argued, well, maybe we create categories for trans athletes, but is there enough of them to have a category that would be, like we said, fair?
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's really difficult to conceptualize any kind of solution. And I think that scares people too. They don't know how to solve it. So the default thing to go to is just say, we're not going to solve it. We're just going to keep it black and white
and say no.
And one of Riley Gaines' arguments is that when Leah Thomas was competing as a male swimmer, she was ranked like 462nd as a male and then jumped to number 1 competing as a female. And that's like overall, obviously you have different rankings in different categories of competition. So one of her arguments was that, well, she was basically a mediocre swimmer at best as a male. And then when she transitioned and started competing as a female, that, she suddenly was this elite swimmer.
400% better.
Yes, 400% better. But, that was one of her arguments. And listen, I'm not saying that that's not a valid argument.
Right.
Sure. I mean, that's part of what makes this so complicated. But I think our issue with it is it really just is being fueled by all of this hate and misunderstanding.
And one isolated argument is more like confirmation bias than it is a true argument for disqualifying a whole population of people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like, and that's the thing that happens with transphobia. It's the thing that happens with so many things politically that are used in fear mongering is people they latch on to one instance. Yeah. And they're not looking at the bigger picture. And I just don't think that's a totally fair approach to take to something this important, because I feel like this is important. And again, I'm not saying that, like you said, that isn't something to consider.
Exactly. Yeah.
And take into account.
Something to consider is the best way to describe it. And there are lots of things to consider.
Yeah.
And, one of Riley's arguments, too, was the safety of women in locker rooms and things, because that is another thing that kind of sparked her whole campaign, was the fact that she was forced to, basically be in a state of undress in a locker room with somebody who still had intact male genitalia.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess...
And
that's the hardest one for me, because I feel like you can't... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I feel like you can't discount any woman's uncomfortability with being in a locker room and getting naked with somebody that maybe they don't feel comfortable with.
Right.
I just feel like it's kind of bullshit, because... the thing you're scared of is predators. You're not scared of trans people.
Right.
You're scared of a predator coming into the locker room or bathroom and abusing you. And
a predator can look like anything.
Exactly. And the assumption that all trans people are predators is outrageous.
Yes.
And dangerous and unfair.
Yes.
Like, it just is.
Yeah.
And I just feel like a lot of people have never had it laid out to them like that. But
Right.
like, no, the real thing you're scared of is predators.
Yes.
And that is not the same as transgender people.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know.
so again, I don't know what the answer is.
I don't know
And
what
like,
the answer is
because I think
either.
about that too. Like, so what? A transgender league doesn't seem right either.
No. Does it have to be a trans man league and a trans woman league?
Right.
Or
does
is it just...
And does that make the idea of a male and female league completely moot too?
Yes,
Because it's just like,
I
it's
know.
not equal, really.
No.
But again, it is like male bodies, biologically, there is a difference.
Yeah. You know, this episode kind of comes on the heels of our Rewind episode where we were talking about the Olympics. And we talked about this a little bit, which is kind of what sparked the idea for this topic when the Simone Biles, you know, comments came out and stuff, is there are biological differences between me and you. And we're
Right.
both assigned at birth female, you
Yeah.
know? And there are biological differences between men and men. And yes, there are biological differences between men and women, but there's biological differences between everybody. And not everybody is born with what people would consider 100% male genitalia or 100% female genitalia. There's a whole population of intersex people as well that should be just
should be
have just the
excluded.
same opportunities as everyone else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also think it's so wrong and just wrong to punish somebody for just trying to live their life in the way that they want to live their life and makes them happy by saying that they're only doing that so they can cheat at sports.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely insane to me. The way trans
risk.
people are treated,
Yeah.
do you think that people would put themselves through that just so they could win a swim meet?
Yeah. No.
Win.
I mean,
Just
it's
so they
absurd.
could win a swim meet? I said whim. Whim, a swim meet?
Whim a swim meet on a whim?
I mean,
No, it's absurd.
It's
and
insane.
it does make you just think, like, is Riley Gaines' whole platform just out of spite? She's just pissed off that she lost, and
I don't
like,
know.
and now she's like, "Oh, I'm doing this for all women." I was like, "Not me.
Yeah.
You're not doing it on my behalf." Like,
right.
yeah, I know. I think about this a lot, and I've been reading about it a lot because it's one of those things that like it makes me consider so many things in life. The idea of gender and biology, because there are differences.
Oh, yeah.
But like, how many of those differences have we created, and how
Right.
many of those differences are biological? And I think that's where the waters get so muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we cannot decipher what gender is and what biology is, and
no.
like what we have created for ourselves as a social construct, and we have assigned that to our biology, but that's not
Yes.
the case.
No, it's not.
And there's a lot of athletes. I was reading about this, especially women track athletes who've been disqualified because of their levels of testosterone, and they were born biological sex females.
Right.
And they've been disqualified because their testosterone levels were too high, and they were forced to take hormone replacement therapy to bring their testosterone
To fit back
levels
into that
down.
mold.
So that it's just like, what the fuck are we doing then?
I know.
So like, doesn't that make everything we've just said
I
moot?
know. And I think a lot of that has to do too with their training. And when your body has more muscle, those hormones change a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's almost like no distinction between how you're born, how those hormones and those things evolve based on how you live your life physically, nutrition wise, what you're doing, and then what is imposed on you by society. So
Yeah.
it's like, I know it's insane. And then it's the same thing with you saying then they're forced to take hormone replacement therapy and do these things in order to fit back into the criteria that we've created and constructed for them.
And mind you, a group of men have created.
Yes.
Who are the people making these standards?
Yeah.
A group of men. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying men aren't qualified, but it's just kind of funny that it always comes back to a very one-sided point
Right.
of view creating the standards.
Right.
You know, it's not democratic.
Right.
Who are the deciding factors?
Right.
I think that's important too.
Absolutely. An
to
important
acknowledge.
notation. Thank you.
Sorry, I just
No,
had
you're
to throw in
fine.
there.
Yeah, no, an important notation. Yes, always. But so yes, so we're forcing these athletes to, okay, now you have to do this, take these hormones so that you can fit back into this criteria that we've constructed. However, Leah Thomas takes hormones to transition to compete as a female, and we're telling her you can't do that.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
I know. I can't wrap my head around it. And I feel like there are so many layers to this topic that just, yeah.
And the other thing that's wild, so in 2022, Leah Thomas won the NCAA championship, the 500-yard freestyle, which is what she beat Riley Gaines in. And that was in March of 2022. So then in June of 2022, this FINA, which is now called World Aquatics, introduced a rule that in order to qualify to compete as transgender, that you cannot have completed or gone beyond puberty Tanner stage 2 or before the age of 12, whichever is later. Okay? So basically, you have to start taking hormone suppressant and replacements before you hit that stage 2 of puberty or before age 12.
Yeah. Which won't be possible with new legislation.
And which is the same thing that all of these people who are behind Riley Gaines' campaign would say is child abuse.
Yeah. Right. So it's a very catch-22 situation there.
And
yeah,
listen, I understand the transitioning as children and as a very young person. That's very complex as well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I feel about that. And that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But you're basically saying in order to be eligible, you have to start transitioning before age 12.
Right.
Which is just a way to ban them, basically.
Exactly, because also the government has just passed a bunch of legislation. This is kind of timely, this topic, honestly, because I don't know if it's legislation or executive orders. I have a hard time deciphering the difference between those two, to be honest.
Right.
But yeah, any medication for kids to transition.
Yeah.
That's just like not going to be a thing anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I have friends who have children who have transitioned. You know, again, this may be one-sided, but it's hard to watch a family who has kids who have transitioned and they're happy.
Right.
And kids who can't and are just miserable to imagine, you know, not being able to make the choice within your own family what to do with your bodies.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem humane to me.
Right.
But that's the one where I can kind of understand people's issue with it. Yeah. And it is a tough one.
It's a tough one.
It's hard to know what you're going to feel like as an adult when you're a kid. But I feel like, again, if you look at the numbers of polls taken, if that's something you choose to trust and rely in, that the number of people who transition do not regret it. Yeah. You know, that's just not what the numbers say. Right. As far as I am educated on. But right. Again, we're in a state where it's like, who knows what's true, and everything is...
Who knows what's true? I do think those are decisions best left to be made by the family. I think you are the best parent for your child, and you and your child together are going to make the best decision. Yeah. And I do think there are ways to support your child in that journey without maybe going to those extreme measures right away. And that's just something that you have to navigate together as a family. Yeah. And I don't think that the government has any role in that.
No. And I don't think restricting access is the right way to do it.
Is ever the right thing. Yeah. Access is good.
With everything, access should be allowed. That's a humane option. And then you as a human are allowed to decide for yourself what you use and what you don't.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's a really hard one. And we're not sitting here saying we have the solution, we know what to do. We're just saying the way it's being talked about, the decisions that are being made, I just think the discourse around the issue is the wrong discourse.
Agreed. I think there is a lot of vitriol when it comes to trans people, and I feel like it's a real shame. Yeah. The hatred that comes with this topic is unreal. I think it is totally okay to not know how you feel, to question, because let's face it, I say this a lot because I feel like it is a good point, but trans people have existed forever.
Yes.
But I understand that it is also not the norm. People aren't used to a non-binary way of life.
Right.
And I understand how that could be hard to accept.
Right.
And I don't expect everyone to just like immediately jump on board.
Right.
I can totally understand wanting to like have conversations about it and
Yes.
think about it and maybe be a little resistant. What I can't understand is the hatred and vitriol that comes with that.
I know.
That so many people take, and that while you are figuring out how you feel, you are stripping people of their basic human rights.
Yes.
That's just not okay.
No, it's not.
You can disagree with the way someone lives, but you don't get to exclude them from living their lives to their utmost humanity.
Right. Absolutely not. Very well said. And I also understand that sports is the one area where it does affect other people, I guess.
Yeah. I also just want to chill the fuck out about sports.
I know.
Like, I get it. Everybody loves sports and like, but I also just want to be like, is this really what we're basing this on? Is the sports thing? I just want to be like,
well, but that's why.
I know.
And I understand that part. It is the one thing where it does affect other people. Somebody living their life as a trans person doesn't really affect anyone else in any other wheelhouse.
I know. And I'm being a little flippant there when I say like get over the sports thing, but
and people do care about sports, and sports is a platform that people use to advance their lives.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah. No, good point. That is.
You know, but very well said. Yeah. When it comes to basic human rights, that trumps everything.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to access to healthcare, that trumps everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that is where we're really seeing a regression for both women and trans people. And it's scary. Yeah. It's really scary.
Yeah. And I think we could just all be a little kinder and compassionate towards each other.
Absolutely.
You know? Like, yes. Are you choosing to be transgender? Yes, it is a choice, but like it's a hard one in this atmosphere. And like, imagine if,
and it doesn't feel like a choice to them.
No, absolutely.
It feels like the only choice.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So it feels the same to them as it feels to a cisgender person living their life out as that gender.
Right.
I mean that.
Well, yeah, but choosing to live your life as you feel fit, I feel like some people could see as, a choice, but it's not an easy way of life right now. And like, have a little compassion for that. I feel like it's just like, how could you not? I don't know. Also, I just want to circle back to Simone Biles, and I was really proud of what she said.
Yeah.
I thought
she could have chosen her words better.
She did get a little personal, and I think that's what she retracted on.
Yes.
But I think her message was right, and I supported it, and I thought it was really brave of her to come out and say those things.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about especially what we were talking about earlier with content creators and what do you owe people and what do they owe us and yada yada. We never intended to get super political on this podcast, but politics seeps into everything, and at the end of the day, we're political people and we talk about this kind of stuff a lot. So here it is. Here we are. I mean, we don't agree with Riley Gaines. We don't agree with her campaign. We don't agree with the way she thinks about it. And
if you do, that's fine. I mean, I disagree with you. But again, like, yes, I'm not afraid to say what I believe in this topic.
No. Yeah.
We're not trying to antagonize anyone or discourage anyone. But yeah, I feel like it's impossible not to talk about what we think on
an opinion podcast.
Yeah. And I don't feel like there's any reason not to talk about a certain topic if we're feeling passionately about it. And this is one that I do feel passionately about. Like,
absolutely. And I wish there was more we could do, a better way to make an impact other than just doing what we're doing, which is talking about it and saying how we feel about it. That's where a lot of these things get difficult, I think, for just the everyday person like us. It's like, what do we do? I don't know, because I don't have a solution. I have no idea what the solution is. Clearly no one does. Yeah. Because that's part of, I think, the fear in all of this is that nobody knows the solution. And yeah, I don't know. It's how do we support this community of people?
Well, I think talking about it is, the very first step.
Yeah.
So
we're doing the only thing we know
we're doing
how.
The 1%.
We're doing 1% better by talking about it on this podcast and hoping that we keep the conversation going in the direction we would like it to go in. So we'll see. Yeah. It's sad that she's now been stripped of her titles, and
I know, and all this, it is scary too. It's just like we're only 6 months into this term, and things are not looking good for trans folks, which is really sad. You know, a lot of things have been restricted, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be stopping anytime soon. So I don't know. Get out there and vote. Stay educated, and I guess just keep talking to your people, and we'll figure out a plan.
Yeah. Maybe. Come to us in the DMs with the plan. Because we need to make the plan. What's the plan, guys?
What's the plan, Stan?
Yeah, we'll see how this continues to unfold. I don't really know what kind of precedent this sets. This investigation by the Trump administration into Leah Thomas and this recent stripping of her titles. There are other investigations going on currently, I believe, and it's all kind of linked to the Trump administration's interpretation of Title IX and these new executive orders. So I don't know. This is where we don't really know how it's going to affect things going forward and what's really enforceable and what's not. So, we'll just have to stick with it and see. So that's where, we are not political scientists.
I also think it's intentional by Trump. That's why he's flying off executive orders left and right, because they don't have to go through Congress.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I can just write an executive order.
Right.
And you pretty much have to follow it, but I don't have to get approval for it.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll continue to follow it, I guess, and see what comes up. But
yeah.
We stand with you, Leah Thomas.
Yeah, and all trans people.
Yes.
Do.
We try to be the best allies we can be, and we're here. So
this is a great conversation. I could talk about this all day. I really find it fascinating.
I mean, we're going to have to cut a lot of stuff, but absolutely. We're going to have to cut those parts where we were like, wait, what? Should we fact check that? Let's look that up real quick.
Well, we're fallible people. We're doing our best.
That's right.
We'll be experts here in the next year or so.
Of course, yeah. Okay, should we grape and gripe? Yeah. Let's grape and gripe.
Say that again, because
Should we grape and gripe?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay, so my gripe is going to the moment you get home with your glorious watermelon and you cut it open. And it's a disgusting, mealy, pale pink piece of garbage.
That's the worst, dude.
It's the worst.
It's
and
so
I feel like I have read everything there is to read about
like
how to pick a good watermelon. I feel like I've got all the facts at my disposal.
You never know, though.
I'm picking. I'm like, this is a good one. This one's a winner.
It's a crapshoot.
And it's just, you never know.
Do you seed or seedless?
Seedless.
Yeah,
I have to with the kids.
I mean, who gets seeded watermelons?
I don't know. Are they better?
No.
Okay.
They're just more annoying.
Yeah, right. I know.
No, it's true. And there's when a watermelon's good, man, it slaps so hard. When it's bad, I mean, I guess all fruits kind of like that, where it's just like, but that sucks.
And it just tastes like nothing.
I know.
It's just wet.
And it's like I spent all the time carrying this in.
I know.
It's not like an easy thing to get at the grocery store.
You put the work in.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
They're like $9 now. I mean,
for real?
Well, I feel like they're like $7.99 unless they're on.
That's crazy.
On digital deals.
It's water in a melon shape.
It's 98% water. Why is it $9?
It is funny too that you can really fill up on watermelon. If you crush watermelon, you're like, I am full and I'm not hungry for hours.
Yeah, and it's just when it's good, it's good.
It's so good. It's hydrating.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, gotta get some watermelon. Man.
Anyway.
Okay, my gripe. My gripe goes out to all the bags I have to carry just to go for one day of work.
Yeah.
God.
Wait till you have kids.
It's so ridiculous. I have to have my work bag. Then I have to have my purse that has all my personal stuff. Then I have to have my lunch bag. Then I have to have a thermos in my hand. I walk to work and I'm just like, why am I carrying 25 pounds of stuff? It's just so ridiculous. I'm just going to sit here for 7 hours and leave. And I need so many things to get me through the day. It's insane.
The amount of things you need just to be a person is astonishing.
God.
Yeah.
And then I watch men walk in. They're just have a wallet
nothing.
and a thermos. I'm like,
they have nothing in their hands.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Next time you're in a crowded place, just see families. See what the mom is carrying and see what the dad is carrying.
No, and it's just
ridiculous.
Those are the type of things that make me think about gender, and it's just like,
I know.
What are but there are differences. But have we
my
constructed
husband
these
is a bag
differences?
man.
Is he?
When he leaves the house, he has a canvas bag
That's lovely.
that he throws his stuff in.
I mean, you need a bag. How do you not carry anything with you?
You have to have something.
The freedom to just leave the house without.
They've got to just be parched, though.
I know, and
aren't you
lips
thirsty?
are dry.
Yeah,
and
chapped lips.
Hands are dry.
Starving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're depending on other people. That's what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The men are depending on others.
Dragging us down.
I think we're gonna have some men on here.
Yeah,
in a couple months.
Also, we love men
to
Don't
get some male perspectives. So
we love men.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that because it's coming.
Yeah.
So my grape is actually just going to a delicious watermelon, which we already talked about. So.
Well, my grape is going to saving money on my lunch by packing it because I've been doing really good about that lately, and it does take so much time and effort, and it really weighs me down on my walk to work, but it feels really good.
Oh, it's
to
so
go
much
through a
cheaper.
week and not spend money on lunch.
Oh, absolutely.
Feeling good about that lately.
Yeah, and you just feel better.
You do.
Eating lunch out every day.
Man, it's not good. Mm-mm. It's not good for you.
No.
You really do feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us through that one.
Yes.
I feel like this is a journey and we're on it together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
thanks for riding with us.
Yeah.
Something like that.
3, 2, 1.